Behind every dazzling red carpet smile lies a storm no flashbulb can capture. Demi Moore, Hollywood's porcelain beauty with steel in her spine, has lived a love story as explosive as any of her movies. Affairs that shocked the industry, marriages that defied age and convention, bitter breakups that fed 1,000 headlines. This is not the carefully polished biography you've heard before. This is the raw, unfiltered saga of love, fights, scandal, and controversy. Demi Jean Gwines was barely a teenager when she fled a chaotic childhood in New Mexico for the dreamlike chaos of Los Angeles. Before fame, before fortune, there were late-night phone calls and whirlwind crushes with struggling musicians and aspiring actors. She worked odd jobs, modeled part-time, and dated men older and wilder than she was. These early relationships taught Demi two things. Love could be intoxicating, and it could disappear overnight. Friends from those years recall passionate arguments in tiny apartments, love letters scrawled on napkins, and a young woman already addicted to the adrenaline of romance. At just 17, Demi stunned her circle by marrying rocker Freddie Moore, a man nearly 12 years her senior. It was a union fueled by rebellion and late-night recording sessions, a crash course in adult passion. But the marriage quickly turned into a tug-of-war. Freddie's band life meant endless parties and groupies, while Demi's ambitions pulled her toward acting classes and auditions. Arguments over jealousy, long absences, and trust issues became routine. Demi would later admit she kept the Moore surname after the divorce because it sounded strong, proof that even when love failed, the name carried power. Fresh from her divorce, Demi dove into a high-profile romance with Emilio Estevez, the Brat Pack prince. They were photographed everywhere, hand in hand at premieres, kissing outside trendy West Hollywood restaurants. For a moment, they were Hollywood sweethearts, but insiders whispered about jealous fights and competing careers. Both were young, famous, and fiercely ambitious. Arguments about commitments and press attention became nightly dramas. Their engagement eventually fizzled, leaving Demi heartbroken but more determined than ever to conquer Hollywood. Enter Bruce Willis, the cocky bartender-turned-TV star whose charisma could light up a room. They met in 1987, sparks flying so intensely that within 4 months they were married in Las Vegas. For nearly a decade, they became one of Hollywood's power couples, a union of action star swagger and cinematic grace. Together they had 3 daughters, projected the image of a playful yet fiercely loyal family, and built a Hollywood empire. But behind the glamour, cracks widened. Career jealousy. Demi's record-breaking salary for striptease and G.I. Jane reportedly bruised Bruce's ego. Long-distance fights. Both traveled constantly, fueling rumors of infidelity. Tabloid storms. Headlines accused Bruce of late-night flirtations, while Demi was linked, often without evidence, to co-stars. Friends described screaming matches followed by passionate reconciliations. By 1998, the love that once burned like a supernova finally collapsed into a surprisingly amicable divorce, though the tabloids feasted on every rumor. After Bruce, Demi's love life entered a wilder chapter. She was linked to a string of younger men, actors, musicians, and mysterious friends spotted on Mediterranean yachts. Each encounter fed the press narrative of a cougar-defying Hollywood ageism. Behind the scenes, Demi battled loneliness and the fear of fading stardom. Insiders spoke of late-night parties, reckless rebounds, and emotional volatility. Every flirtation became a headline, every friendship, a secret romance. Then came Ashton Kutcher, the 25-year-old sitcom star who reignited Demi's belief in love. At 41, Demi stunned the world by stepping onto red carpets with a man 16 years her junior. They married in 2005, projecting a blended family of laughter and tech-savvy cool. For a while, they seemed unstoppable, posting playful tweets, sharing meditation retreats, even launching joint charities. But behind the Instagram smiles lay trust issues and explosive fights. Rumors swirled of Ashton's late-night escapades with young women. Paparazzi captured him partying in hotel suites without Demi. Tabloids claimed Demi grew increasingly insecure, fearing betrayal. The tension erupted in 2011 when allegations of Ashton's infidelity dominated entertainment news. Publicly humiliated, Demi filed for divorce, a move followed by a reported breakdown, hospital visits, and whispers of substance abuse. It was one of Hollywood's most public implosions, pitting a wounded icon against a rising tech investor in a media circus of leaked texts and tearful statements. Demi's love life wasn't the only source of conflict. Her relationships with her daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, became strained during her struggles with addiction and heartbreak. Arguments turned into long periods of silence, with insiders recounting tearful interventions and late-night phone calls begging for reconciliation. Over time, the family began to heal, but the scars of those years remain part of her complex love story. From rebellious teen bride to Hollywood queen and headline-making divorcee, Demi Moore's romantic life is a roller coaster of passion, betrayal, and raw emotion. But this is only the first act. When the curtains closed on Demi Moore's marriage to Ashton Kutcher, many believed the final chapter of her love life had been written. But Demi's heart and Hollywood's obsession was far from finished. What came next was not only a period of quiet reflection, but also a storm of revelations that would shake the industry, her family, and her fans to the core. After the explosive divorce from Ashton in 2013, Demi stepped back from the Hollywood party circuit. Paparazzi lenses searched desperately for a new headline, but Demi became a master of strategic mystery. She was occasionally spotted with art dealers, philanthropists, and younger actors, but nothing was ever confirmed. Friends whispered about discreet rendezvous in Europe, candlelit dinners in New York, and long retreats to remote desert spas where she could recover out of sight. Some insiders claimed Demi enjoyed the power of the unknown, allowing the press to speculate while she quietly focused on therapy, meditation, and rebuilding her self-worth. The woman who once flaunted whirlwind romances was now playing a new game, private love in a public world. In 2019, Demi released her memoir Inside Out, a raw confessional that became an instant bestseller. The book detonated like a Hollywood bombshell, exposing her childhood trauma, including a chaotic household and early abuse, her struggles with addiction and self-image during her highest-earning years, candid details about her marriages, including Bruce's controlling streak and Ashton's alleged infidelities. The most shocking revelation? Demi admitted to a threesome she says she agreed to with Ashton in an attempt to please him, a decision she later called a mistake I'll never repeat. The confession reignited media frenzies, reopened old wounds, and forced Ashton to issue carefully worded responses. Hollywood insiders described the memoir as emotional dynamite because it not only exposed the private lives of two A-list stars, but also forced a broader conversation about power dynamics, age gap relationships, and the hidden costs of fame. While Demi's relationships with men after Ashton remained a mystery, one unexpected figure re-entered her life with warmth: Bruce Willis. Despite their divorce decades earlier, the two maintained an unusually close friendship, co-parenting their daughters with a level of respect that baffled tabloids. During the 2020 pandemic lockdown, Demi and Bruce quarantined together in Idaho, sparking playful rumors of a rekindled romance. Though both insisted they were simply devoted co-parents, the images of them laughing in matching pajamas sent social media into a frenzy. Fans couldn't help but imagine a full-circle love story, a Hollywood ending where first love quietly wins in the end. Demi's daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, had long endured the public dissection of their family life. During Demi's darkest years, especially after Ashton, the girls reportedly staged interventions to address her substance abuse and dangerous weight loss. Periods of estrangement followed, with heartbreaking stretches where mother and daughters barely spoke. In Inside Out, Demi confessed that these fights cut deeper than any Hollywood betrayal. But healing slowly arrived. Rumor praised her mother for unflinching honesty after the memoir. Scout posted emotional tributes to their growing bond. Family vacations returned, filled with laughter instead of tension. Today, Their relationship stands as one of Demi's greatest triumphs, a testament that love, even battered by fame and scandal, can be rebuilt. Even as Demi focused on family and self-care, the industry's fascination never faded. Every new photograph, whether at a Paris fashion show or walking a quiet New York street, spawned rumors of secret boyfriends or surprise engagements. Some tabloids insisted she was dating younger tech entrepreneurs. Others linked her to European royals. Demi rarely confirmed or denied, mastering the art of the enigmatic smile. Through every affair, marriage, and heartbreak, Demi Moore emerged as something far more intriguing than a Hollywood starlet. She became a symbol of resilience, a woman who loved fearlessly despite public judgment, spoke openly about addiction and insecurity, refused to let failed relationships define her. Her story is not one of perfect endings, but of courageous rebirths. Demi showed the world that even the most glamorous lives can be messy, painful, and profoundly human. From the rebellious teen who married a rocker to the Hollywood icon who faced public humiliation and still stood tall, Demi Moore's journey through love, fights, scandal, and controversy is a saga of both heartbreak and triumph. But even now, whispers continue. Will Demi find lasting love beyond the headlines? Or is her greatest romance the one she's finally learning to have with herself? Demi Moore's story didn't stop with best-selling confessions or a healed family bond. Behind the calm surface of red carpets and fashion shows, her life continued to flicker with new flames, whispered encounters, and a relentless pursuit of peace. This final part uncovers the lesser-known relationships, quiet feuds, and the ultimate love story Demi discovered, one with herself. Following the release of Inside Out, paparazzi intensified their chase, convinced Demi would reveal a dramatic new relationship. Rumors swirled around. A charming British novelist who shared long moonlit walks with Demi during a wellness retreat in the south of France. A mysterious Silicon Valley entrepreneur spotted, leaving a private Los Angeles dinner with her. A younger European art collector who allegedly whisked her away to secret galleries in Paris. Sources close to Demi insist some of these encounters were real, but intentionally unlabeled. After decades of public marriages, she refused to give tabloids the satisfaction of a headline. Friends described her romances as chapters of discovery rather than destination, relationships that were passionate but intentionally private. While Demi publicly radiated grace, whispers of long-buried tensions persisted. Industry insiders claim she clashed with executives who once dismissed her during her post-Ashton slump. Old rivals resurfaced, subtly competing for roles or fashion campaigns. One veteran director allegedly attempted to rewrite history, claiming Demi had been difficult on set during her peak years. Instead of explosive confrontations, Demi's revenge was silent. She chose selective appearances, stealing headlines simply by arriving at major events in show-stopping couture. Her calm, controlled presence was a statement. She had outlasted them all. During her period of introspection, Demi grew close to a prominent spiritual healer she met at a meditation retreat in India. The healer, described as deeply charismatic, reportedly became a confidant and occasional travel companion. Some tabloids branded him a secret lover. Others saw him as a guide who helped Demi process decades of trauma. Friends say the connection blurred lines between romance and spiritual mentorship. Regardless of the label, those near Demi credit this relationship with helping her embrace sobriety, forgiveness, and self-acceptance. In 2021, gossip columns buzzed when Demi was photographed laughing with actor Jon Cryer, her one-time flame from the 1980s, at a private dinner in Los Angeles. Fans speculated about an old love reignited, but both parties remained silent. The photos, though innocent, reminded the world of Demi's magnetic pull and her ability to keep the public guessing even after decades in the spotlight. As her daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, entered their own public relationships, Demi occasionally found herself in quiet battles behind the scenes. Friends recount moments where Demi offered strong advice about unsuitable boyfriends, even confronting a few in private. While she avoided public drama, Insiders say those protective instincts occasionally led to heated family discussions. The once fractured mother-daughter relationships evolved into a united front, where disagreements were passionate but anchored in love. While personal mysteries unfolded, Demi reemerged as a global style icon. Her show-stopping appearances at Paris Fashion Week, including a dramatic Fendi runway cameo, rekindled Hollywood's obsession. Fashion insiders revealed she occasionally brought a special friend to after-parties, but identities were kept fiercely private. Observers noted a pattern. Demi arrived with elegance, left with discretion, and never allowed cameras to capture the true intimacy of her evenings. In a world addicted to oversharing, Demi's ability to maintain mystery became her greatest power. Perhaps the most significant relationship of Demi's later years was the one with her own history. Through therapy, meditation, and candid interviews, she faced childhood abandonment and abuse, the pressures of being the highest-paid actress of the 1990s, the shame of public divorces and media ridicule. Her ability to speak openly about addiction and self-worth turned past scandals into tools for healing, not just for herself, but for fans who saw their own pain in her story. By the mid-2020s, Demi's romantic life remained deliberately undefined. Insiders describe a woman who enjoys companionship without ownership, passion without publicity. She has reportedly said to close friends, "I don't need a man to complete me. I've finally completed myself." This philosophy, love as freedom, not captivity, has made her one of the most intriguing figures in Hollywood's history of relationships. She transformed from a star defined by high-profile marriages into an icon of self-directed happiness. Demi Moore's journey through love, fights, scandal, and controversy is more than a tabloid timeline. It is a testament to loving fiercely even when it hurts, fighting demons, both personal and professional, with quiet strength, owning her narrative in an industry eager to twist it. From Freddie Moore to Bruce Willis, from Ashton Kutcher to secret companions whose names remain unspoken, Demi's relationships reveal a woman who refused to be broken by betrayal or defined by any single man. Today, Demi Moore stands not as a survivor of Hollywood love, but as a master of her own heart. She has learned that the greatest romance is the one you build with yourself, an unbreakable bond of self-respect, forgiveness, and endless reinvention. In a world hungry for scandal, Demi gave us something richer. A story of passion without apology, fights without surrender, and a love life that remains thrillingly untamed.